Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. If you hear new, hit subscribe buttons and notification bell so you can never miss any our incredible content. SwiftUI Taxi Apps inside. Today we need to create here the OTP screens, sign in screens and create profile screen need to develop here today. First of all, need to create here the OTP screens. First of all, need here the new files. We need to create here OTP view like this. Create here SwiftUI file. And now need to develop first of all the text fields of the OTP. Need to create common UI. Go inside. Need to create here the. I need to develop this here the OTP field here like this. Copy this text and to this years and to fix this first of all this errors here. And now need to create here the OTP screens. First of all, so needs here the binding property where HTTP or string need to create here. Also need to set this here the preview inside the static states need to define here. Give this here the txt code is equal to double quotes, and now need to pass here the txt colors txt codes. Need to give this like here the value. And now we need to develop this our UI. Need to one by one the developing. First of all, need to create here the z text and to create text fields and to create here the different one text field to manage this here the text fields need to develop here. First of all, need to define here the z text like this here. Also need to another state property to define here the placeholder. Give this here slash if you not any value inside the text fields. Want to define here the text fields sets here 0 and to set here dollar OTP like this gives. Now need to create here the stack developers. Now need to CL. Also we need to get here the types. Need to see here number heads, and afterwards we need to set here the foreground colors. We need to now not set any foreground colors because we need to explain how to create here the single text field to OTP screens. We need to create first of all the stack this sets here, and to here the placeholder text we need to set this here. Give this here the placeholder sets, and now need to frame. Give this here the width 45 and to give this here the alignments, as well as need to give this here height as a 50. Need to set this here. Also need to create here the dividers this sets here, and to give this here the padding we need to set here the 15 like this. Set here the paddings. Now also need to set here the font. Is this here the custom font. Give this here the bold. Set here the 16 like this. Sets here like this value displaying here the way. And now need to convert into the for loops. Need to convert here for each. We need to here the yeah slash like this give. And one more tabs we need to needs here the OTP code. Gets here the txt OTP codes and to map this here. This here the see gets here the counts value need to get here. Now need to set here at this here. Maybe issue with these lines. Need to put about the fix these lines here. Issue with these brackets. Now this is the goods. Now need to cut this here, this map and this here, and now need to check here the first of all the set this here. Also need to here the space. Yes, you need to set this here like this displaying here, and now need to set here the one by ones. If need to check OTP code length counts less than indexed, and to actual text need to displaying here the like this sets here. Now need to go paste this here, also need to paste here. Now need to get this here the OTP code. Index need to set here like this sets, and now need to paste this here set downs here the displaying text. Also need to give this here the foreground, and to set this here the clear, and need to essence colors that has clears sets here. Like this set this wall value, and now need to creating here the duns commit these codes, and these text fields are the ready, and now need to develop here the UI. First of all need to copy these codes here with this environment, copy here and paste this here these codes, and also need to this here state property, and to do this here the now need to create here the titles. Need to set this here titles as OTP verifications. Like this sets here. Now need to remove these buttons or input now. Now need to create here the buttons of the submit. Also need to create here the buttons here set here the text fields. Now need to give this here the resend like this sets here, and to set here the colors. Set here the primary text like this sets here. Now need to remove this all codes. Now waiting for loading this UI. Also need to create here text fields. Also need to set some titles. Set here the regular extents. Need to give this here, and to give this here the bottoms. So need to set here the extents. Set here one sets, and to set here the foreground colors. That as a secondary text. Also need to copy here h text here with this value, and to print here the mobile numbers 91, and also need to create here the text button. Give this here the actions and set here the primary text. Fonts colors need to set this here like, and now actions. Now need to also copy this. Give this here the secondary colors need to see here like, and to give this here the edit buttons. Also need to write down here the back buttons need to call here more dot dismiss like this sets here these buttons. And now need to set here the bottom value. Now need to give this here this sets here, and need to create here the like this here for the child code buttons, and to give this here the bold, and to set here primary app colors. Also we need to set here the OTP text fields. Give this here the dollars. Need to set here the txt OTP like this sets like this UI are the thing here. Also need to give this here the bottom paddings like this sets, and need to increase this here that here 30 is goods. Now this is the display goods. Also need to set here the 13. Now need to try here the add here the value like this, displaying here the OTP codes, and to back these buttons one single pill to working these goods like this, displaying here this text field is not working inside the custom UI developed inside, not working because we need to use here the binding property and need to set here the static states. That's why not working. Here now working. And this is OTP screen are the done. Now need to develop here the sign in screen. So need to develop here the create new files and to get here the sign in view like this, create here. Also need to copy here the mobile codes, copy this here, and to put this here UI this sets here. Now need to give this here the titles, need to set as a sign in like this, give these titles, and to what's first of all the country. Now need to create here the bottom buttons. Need to develop this here. First of all need to set here the padding is bottoms 15 like sets. Now need to also copy these buttons here to set buttons, set this here, and to paste this and to set here the forgot password, like this buttons here the creatings. Now also need to remove this here, this node needs this dividers, this value, remove this here. Now need to create here the common text fields, need to develop here. First of all need to create here the line text fields inside the commons, need to create previous video inside some previous playlist inside, need to create here the same as test, need to develop here line text fields, give this here the name. Now need to create here first of all needs here some property state where titles as a string. Now need to give titles, also need to create here the placeholders, folder, give this here the string like this here, so also need to create here the binding property where txt string, need to be this like here. Also need to pass here the static state static here string like this value, and to pass this here, set this here the value dollar txt, this sets here. Here also need to get here the keyboard types here, keyboard types this here like this, to give this here the UI keyboard type. By default need to get here the default keyboards. Now need to get here the create here the stack, develop this years, and now need to set here the titles as, need to set as a titles like this. Now need to set here the fonts, custom font, with this here the regulars, set here 14. Then after need to create here the foreground colors, we need to set this here like the placeholder. So need to select titles. Now need to set here the frame, set here the maximum width, need to set infinity, and elements, we need to set this here the element as a leading, we need to set this here. Now need to create here the text fields, set here the placeholder first of all. After need to bind with this property dollar text is like. Now need to set here the keyboard type, that as a keyboard. Now need to auto capitalization, so need to disable this here. Also need to get here capitalization styles, need to set here none. Now need to set here the param heights, need set as a 20 like this sets here. Now need to create here the bottom dividers needs here is create, and now these are the text fields UI are the done here. And now need to create here the another text fields, so need to develop here the secure text fields. Copy this here, so this here, and this here the name, secure fields. Also need to copy here, send to this sets, and to also need to set the secure text fields like this titles need to set. Now no needs here the keyboard types. We need to create here the where is show password buttons. We need to develop here, and to set here the by default is the select this property, set this here. Also need to create binding property this here full sets here. Now need to check here if show password, then need to display for this keyboard types no needs now, and also need to create here the where I have created this modifier show button passwords. It's binding with the dollar show passwords like this sets here. Explain this how to create this here the show password buttons. First of all need to create here the view modifier structures. We need to develop here to give these names here. Binding properties show. Now need to create here the body inside need to pass this horizontal text, create containers, and now need to create here the buttons inside need to give this here the toggles, and now need to set here the show heights to set this here the right. Now need to creating this here. Also need to set this image inside the our like this. Also need to copy this data this here show by default set here false. Now show passwords, set this here the value like this sets here. Also need to create here the secure text fields. We need to create here, we need to copy this here and to set this here the secure fields. Need to set this here like this property are the this text fields are the developments, and this here the secure text fields and displaying goods this here. Now need to use this secure text fields inside our signups and to create here the way. Suppose need to create here the titles as a mobile numbers. Go inside the line text fields, copy this here titles. Now we need to go inside the signups and need to view this here and to set here the titles like this sets. Also need to create here the secure text fields. We need to give this here password like this sets here the title. Sorry, that's not the wrong place. Create here the state property private where txt password is here. Also need to create another state property where private to password like this. We need to set here. Now need to copy this password text fields. This here the binding. Password. Also need to here password, and now need to set it title here password. Also need to set this here as folders. This here the value is black. Set this here and to waiting for the loading this UI. displaying this here the placeholder like this sets here. Now need to give this here the bottom padding sets here, and now this is the displaying this goods here, this UI, and these sign up screens are the developed ones. Now need to configure inside first of all the OTP screens here, the continue buttons, OTP like this, give this here. Also need to go inside the welcome screens and to configure here the sign in screen. So sign in view, need to call this here sets here. Now need to create here the first of all click this, give this here navigation sets here, and to here check this UI. Now working goods with back buttons, no any issue. And now need to create here the check here triple select this displaying good, no any issue. Now need to create here the new files and to create here now need to set this here the sign in, sign up script. Now need to copy here the sign in screens data, copy this here's data here and to paste inside the sign up. Now need to set here the titles, inputs here country because now import things, and now need to some property, you need to define search needs. First name, last name, and like this sets here some property needs. Now need to set here the titles, get profile like this create. Now need to create here the basics, need to create here the line text fields, this here the txt snaps. Also need to see property titles and placeholders, need to put this here. Snap like this sets. So need to set this here the placeholders, give this name. It's also need to give this here about padding, so need to set as 8 to set this here. Now need to create here the last name, Patel, and to give this here the last name like this sets. Also need to copy this here and create here, set here the home address, give this here the home number, city, and zip code sets here. Also need to set here the address property like this sets here. And to increase this here the need to set here the 13 like this displaying, and now need to creating goods. Now need to go inside the mobile numbers and to paste this here this value, copy this here and to paste this here at this here. And to change this buttons names need to get here the name as a register, create here. Also need to sort spawn it now, and to set here the bottom as a 30 like this sets here. Create here the buttons, sets here, and to check, waiting for the loading this UI. Done. Choose here. Yes. That's or wrapped. Set here these buttons. We need to set this here. Got this issue. Need to set here the maximum value of the sets here. Need to fix this here the stack this sets here this value. Paste this here this codes. Now this issue and the fix because we need to maximum here the tens value we need to give inside the one after not working. That's why not working the screen. Now this is working goods and this UI are displaying goods, no any issue. And now need to configure this UI inside the welcome screens. Now need to copy and to go inside the welcome view and to configure here the sign up screens. Now need to configure done and to check this UI working or not. To create here the navigation link sets here. Now need to call here and to opening the screens. So its passwords are the displaying goods, no any issue. If you any question, so please write down in the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.